What's up, everybody? We back for another reaction video. You already know, alright? Your boy been MIA for a minute, but I'm back. So, if you're here on this channel for the first time, welcome to I Seen That Reaction channel. I'm your boy, Mr. I Seen That. Make sure you go ahead and drop a like on this video, drop a comment on this video, and definitely make sure you subscribe. Turn on that bell notification so you can be aware the next time your boy, Mr. I Seen That, drops his next reaction video. Alright? So, like I said, your boy been MIA, been gone for a minute. I just came back yesterday, posted my video talking about how I got robbed. So if you ain't seen that, go ahead on the channel and find that video, or it should be at the end of this video. Alright, so I talked about basically why I've been gone and what's been going on in the video part 1 yesterday. So just a little brief summary. I decided to go to Vegas for Thanksgiving and surprise my family for the holidays, and then, you know, also take my wife to Vegas for her first time on her birthday. So, you know, in yesterday's part 1, I talked about how I went to the mall, and then how, you know, we went to her parents' house, met up with her brother. My laptop got ran over, smashed and everything. And then, you know, we on our way to the airport. Alright. So, with that being said, we on part 2 today. So we just gonna, you know, jump right back into the story. You feel me? We gonna jump right back in. So let's just go ahead and jump back into this story, y'all. Alright. So now we, you know, basically got to the airport, checked in our bags. Now we you know, on our way to the terminal, right? So I've been to you know, a handful of airports. I've done my fair share of traveling on different, you know, airplanes with different companies and things of that nature, right? When I'm telling you, when we rolled up to the terminal, y'all, that joint was dirty. I did not understand like how dirty this terminal was, like. And you know, airports, they try to keep their stuff clean, man. And this, I'm talking about, it was just trash everywhere, man. And then, like, the people who was gonna get on the plane with us, you know, people were already sitting in that section, and I'm just like looking at them like, man, I'm about to sit here with y'all in this filth. Like, where are the people that's supposed to come and clean this stuff up, man? But anyhow, so we sitting down, you know what I mean, waiting to board the plane or whatever. And you know, when you traveling and when you traveling, man, you just meet so many different people from so many walks of life. It's just crazy, right? So peak game, right? So we waiting to board the plane. So, you know, all 4 of us, we all sitting down. And right next to me, you know, on my left hand side, I guess on the camera, whatever, my left hand side, whatever, right? My left hand side, nobody's sitting there, right? So I'm chilling there, and then all of a sudden I turn over and I say something to my wife or to my wife's brother or whatever. Everybody's having a conversation, so I talk to them. And then next thing you know, I feel like you know, one of those, right? Somebody sits down on my left side. So then I turn and I look, and it's like this little kid, man. This little kid, he probably like 13, 12 years old, you know what I mean? Little kid, skinny dude too, man. He got all these big old clothes, they all swallowing him up. Man, he got these big old clothes and he's skinny, they just swallowing them up, man. You can tell, man, dude, man, his whole body was just straight paper thin, like, dude was skinny, man. But anyway, he sit down, you know what I mean? And he don't say nothing, so I go back, continue the conversation, you know, with my wife and everybody else, right? Then next thing I know, this cat, he like asked me something out the blue. I'm a people's person, you know what I mean? So I'm a talk, you know what I mean? So he said whatever he said, so I'm over here conversating. Now, next thing I know, we having a full-blown conversation for like 5 minutes, like, buddy over here just friendly. Man, I'm telling you, during the conversation, y'all. Yo, when I tell you, when me and this cat having this conversation, man, I messed around and looked down. This cat had the open-toe sandals, like, and mind you, it's November, so it's already cold. And I'm just like, it's cold, and you already got the like, all right then. So that was just funny to me. And when I seen the open toe sandal, yo. Yo, buddy toenails was long. I'm telling you, man, that's why I am not a fan of open-toe sandals, especially if you a dude. If you wearing open-toe sandals, man, and your toes ain't up to snuff, they not up to par, man, don't wear no open toe. But this is a young cat, so it is what it is. But, you know, I'm laughing in my head because I find it funny. So I'm just, you know, we conversating whatever. So bam, the conversation ends, right? So then now I go right back over here talking to my wife and her brother, right? So then now, next thing I know, her brother ends up getting up and walking off, right? He gone for a minute. So then next thing, he calls my wife. And then so my wife, she like, hey, my brother said, do we want to upgrade to first class seats? I'm like, what? First class? I'm like, well, how much is that gonna cost? You know what I mean? I mean, we trying to go to Vegas, but how much is this gonna cost? So she asked him how much it's gonna cost or whatever. So then he tell her it's only gonna be like an extra $50. I'm like, $50? What? We like, yeah. We trying to upgrade first class, man. We up in the airport lit off the Bel Air. Now we about to go first class, get more drink, man. We about to, man, you already know. So we talking about the first class, you know what I mean? And it's about to be my first time going first class, so I'm hyped, you know what I mean? I'm hyped. You figure deal me? So her brother come back, you know what I'm saying? We got the tickets or whatever. And then so we just talking, and then next thing I know, old boy to the left, he said something to me, man. I cannot remember the conversations that we was having, but he said something to me, right? So then my attention turned and went to him. Man, I'm telling you, when I came back and I looked at this cat done messed around, y'all. That cat done messed around and got comfortable, man. Hey, you know when you in the airport and you gotta wait on your plane, if you walking around, you'll see some people, man, they'll be comfortable, they'll be laying on the floor, they'll be laying whatever, like, what? You laying on the airport floor? So anyway, when I turn and I look at him, buddy done got comfortable. He done took the feet out the sandals, put them up on the chairs, like, so now he laying down. And I'm just like, and he got his feet towards me, so I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, no, man, come on, blah. Man, come on. So we having our conversation, whatever, and he like asking me stuff about his own family. And I'm like, what? I don't even know. Like, what's going on here? So, dude is just real conversational, man. And, you know, I kind of get it because he traveling alone and stuff. And so now he like, okay, so I kind of do remember a little bit of the conversation. He was like asking me to make sure, like, is this the right gate where he's supposed to be at or whatever. So I'm like, well, yeah, let me see your ticket. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at his ticket, talking to him. And I know how that is because when I was young, I used to travel all the time by myself. So it could be kind of, you know, scary sometimes. You know, you want to make sure where you're supposed to be at. You don't want to be in no Macaulay Culkin situation. That boy supposed to be going to Vegas. That boy end up somewhere in Kentucky. That boy end up in Kentucky. Ain't nothing out there, boy. So anyway, we just conversating about that. Whatever, right? So fast forward. Now it's time to board the plane, right? And I'm happy because I'm like, man, let's get up out of here. We've been waiting for like, I think it was like we had to wait an hour and stuff like that before we had to board or whatever. So that was a whole hour, you know, me talking to him, talking to my wife, us upgrading to go to first class and all that, right? So now we about to board the plane. So we hype. Woo, boy, we hype, right? So they like over the intercom, they was like, yeah, now boarding for Las Vegas, we gonna board the first class passengers first. So we go ahead and stand up, you know what I mean? Get in line, going down, you know what I'm saying? She go ahead and rip our ticket, you know what I mean? So I was the last person to go like on the plane, right? Far as me, my wife, her brother, and his situation. So when we going down, you know, like the hall or whatever that's called, the tunnel, when you about to get on the plane, it was, I believe it was my wife's brother walked in first, his situation, then my wife, and then me, right? Man, so I'm going in, I give the chick my ticket, and then she like, hold up. And I'm like, what? Hold up. And she was like, you first class? And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, where's your thing? I'm like, it's right here. And then so she was like, oh, okay. I'm like, hold on, you I'm like, what you mean? You trying to play me? You know what I mean? I'm with them. You know, we all together. We all upgraded together. You know what I mean? So she like, oh, I'm sorry. I just misread the ticket. I'm like, all right, cool. So bam, right? So now I'm walking down the hall, right? The tunnel, whatever you want to call it, right? So now I'm walking down the joint, man. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, her brother done got on the plane, his situation, and then like my wife, she's kind of like a little bit ahead of me. And then so now I'm walking up to the door where you actually getting on the plane, right? You know what I'm saying? Now we getting on the plane, right? Man, so I get my ticket, and then so they were like, all right, yeah, just go ahead and go sit down. You know, find your seat and go sit down. So I'm looking on my ticket, you know what I'm saying? I find my seat because we all sitting together pretty much, right? So the way that the seating is, my brother and his situation is the road right in front of me and my wife. You know what I'm saying? So we sitting right back behind them. So my wife's brother is sitting next to the window. His situation is sitting next to him. And then my wife is sitting next to the window. And I'm sitting next to my wife, right? So my wife's brother situation, right? She got an open seat. And then I got an open seat, right? So we sitting there, you know what I'm saying, just chilling, whatever. Everybody coming on the plane. And then I'm just like, I'm like sitting there watching everybody get on the plane, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, hold up, something ain't right. Some ain't right, man. Some ain't right. Now, I don't travel enough in my lifetime on airplanes to know a few things. And I don't see enough movies when people are on airplanes and go to the airport. I don't see enough movies to know a few things. Now, when it comes to an airplane has 3 doors if I'm not mistaken, right? You got one door all the way in the front of the plane, then you got one door in the middle of the plane, and then you got one door in the back of the plane, depending on the size of the plane, right? Okay, but we're talking about that type of size plane, like big enough plane to hold a lot of people, right? So, we board at the front of the plane, right? Okay, now, I board the front of a plane plenty of times, right? And when I've boarded a plane at the front and walking through there, they tell me to do what? Go right. Go right. Because if you go left, what's left, y'all? It's the cockpit where the pilots is at. They need to fly the plane. And also it is first class, right? And then, the coach people, they sit in the back. You know what I mean? So, I'm sitting down on the plane, y'all. And then it's like, I'm like, hold up. When I came on the plane, I couldn't go left. Because soon as you went left, that was just the cockpit. It wasn't like no other sitting areas or nothing. And if you go to the right, that's where all the seats is at. But it's not one of those type of planes to where there's mad sections, like that's just the front of the plane where, you know what I'm saying, the first class people sit at. So I'm just sitting there just watching everybody get on the plane. And then so I'm starting to talk to, my wife, and we all starting to talk, amongst it, and we like, yo, is this first class? Like, what's going on? Like, cause first class, you supposed to be first class. Like, we sitting in like some coach seats. Like, we ain't got nothing lavish or nothing. We ain't got no TVs or nothing. Like, man, I don't know what's going on. So, I forgot who asked. I don't know who asked, but somebody asked, like the stewardess, like, hey, yo, the ticket say first class. Like, this ain't first class, is it? Man, you know what this chick told us. She was like, oh, absolutely, this is first class. And I'm like, how? Where? Like, where's the privacy? And she was like, oh, no, this is Southwest. First class means you get to board the plane first, and you get to pick wherever you want to sit on the plane. Yo, I'm talking about what, man? I'm mad. I'm so tight. I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous, man. So, anyway, fast forward, we done took off. I'm talking about this plane ride is so uncomfortable. We got like, I think it's 4-hour flight or something like that with all the time difference, whatever. I'm talking about it's so uncomfortable. I ain't got no TV or nothing to watch. No drinks, cause they ain't serving no drinks. Y'all know the little trays on the back of the seats that come down? I done pulled that down, folded my arms, put my head down, and done tried to go to sleep. Like, just straight up uncomfortable. And let's not talk about the guy right behind. I'm talking. Yo, man, I'm telling you, when you travel, you meet different people, man. Before we even took off, this cat was snoring. I'm talking about this cat was snoring loud the whole trip. Yo, I'm talking about, it was just wild, man. Alright, y'all, so that was part 2. Tomorrow we're gonna have part 3. We arriving in Vegas. Alright, so if you're here on this reaction channel for the first time, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, definitely make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you can be aware the next time your boy, Mr. I Seen That, drops his next reaction video. To all my day ones and my new subscribers, y'all know the vibe. Peace.